Welcome everybody to the two-man power trip, the black man starting the nerd lifestyle. I'm Nicholas, Mr. Go With The Flow.
And I'm the man with the plan, Maurice.
And today we are with a guest. Introduce yourself.
Hello, Internet, and everyone listening. My name is Yo. Happy to be on, gentlemen.
Hey, we got the Sentai Foul Knowledge with us. Let's go. And we're back with another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. What's up, my people?
Oh, goodness. Yo cracks me up every time he introduces himself when he comes on. Like he never been here before.
Hey, man. You of all people know how to get with the program. What's up, yo?
You people with your retcons and your...
Exactly. It's like every time he comes on, he sounds like he's been like it's his first time popping on. It cracks me up every time.
I don't
saucy
know.
already.
When the first time... I don't know. How many things have we recorded together? Like 3? And how
This is, yeah.
actually come out?
And none has officially come out, but welcome.
Oh, say less. Say less.
we got one man working on all that stuff, but yeah.
Oh, you hear that kettle boiling? That's the tea.
Oh, no way. I will make special exception for you because I got this Mystic Force one on deck.
What did I say about Saucy? It kicked right into you people. But on that note, guys, let's kick into Vibe Guys. How was y'all weekend?
My weekend was good.
Ours kicked off from Friday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cause on Friday we did karaoke.
Yeah, it was Cinco de Mayo. We was out. We got to sing it again.
Yes, we did.
Bust out that list.
Right? Nah, that was a good time. That Defenders Waiting Food, that was good.
Yeah, Patagon's always good, and karaoke's is always the vibe.
Yeah, and then like I said, Saturday was chill. The weekend was just chill. I took in some errands, blah blah blah. Didn't really do too much.
And yo, how was your weekend?
Not bad. Did some parkour training.
Hey, parkour.
Yeah, found out that looking up some Pokemon news, had a new raid actually going up live. It's live now.
Yeah, it's up now. Yep.
When we're recording, so did some raid building.
That's what's up. That's what's up. For me, for the most part, for the weekend, Kenya just got that new TV stand, so we got to work on building on that. So that was most of the Saturday while Backlash was playing in the background. We had collabed and fixed that up, and that shit came out good. So we hyped on that, and then other than that, it was just kind of chilling for the most part. So that was it for the weekend. How was y'all?
I forgot something.
What happened?
No, because my friend had a last minute birthday get together. Mm-hmm. That's why I watched Backlash because I completely forgot about it.
Yeah. Y'all was getting litty.
It was all. Oh man.
Oh shit.
Twisted. Whew.
Sounds like it truly.
My friend know how to make shots. Goodness gracious.
Bless. So how was y'all work weeks?
I'll let Yo start.
Mm-hmm. How much time we got till this thing shuts down?
Oh Lord. Well, you heard the counter, so go ahead.
Where to begin on?
Has it been a rough week for all three of us apparently? Shit.
Yes.
Sounds like it.
I'm pretty sure if you ask me anytime about work, it's gonna be a rough week.
True.
You can ask me on Monday and I'll tell you it's a rough week.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's just been the vibe lately because
I saw this on Twitter the other day. This guy got fired from his job because they did like rotating like weekly newsletter or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it was this guy's turn and he got in trouble because all he wrote was, every morning I wake up angered that I'm still in the throes of capitalism.
I mean, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't see the problem.
Yeah.
We don't see a problem because we're in the throes of capitalism.
Yeah.
If I put on my little strikers picket uniform right now.
Okay.
You know who got mad
That's
at
me.
that?
That's in the
money.
conversation. That's in the news. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We gonna get to that right strike. Because I got to talk about a certain person. But yeah.
Well, I have thoughts about that strike.
We'll talk.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Okay.
We kicked off the news last week with it, and I have that in the college. Get to chat. Yeah. But yeah, it sounded like work been testing you from Monday up.
Oh, work's been testing me since year one.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about this week.
How was that different any other week?
I don't know. Maybe it got saucier this week.
Nope.
It sounded like it got saucier.
Same shit, different day.
All right, heard that. What about you, co-host?
Work has been annoying.
Annoying. What's the people up to this week?
It's not that what they're up to. It's more the vibe. It's like I'm not really. It's like I'm there.
Yeah.
It's like
floating through.
Yeah, right now, like lately, it's just like I've been there.
Yep. Nah, I hear the mess of that most part. But go ahead.
No, like so Monday was chill. Tuesday was just more of just figuring out where stuff is going, what we're doing with this, that, and the third, and just cleaning up all the changes that were made the last couple months.
Yeah.
So everything is just like in a rebuilding phase.
And that when you in the rebuilding phases, it gets a ton of messy.
Yeah, so it's just been weeding through the mess, and I don't really care for it. And like,
heard that. All right, and for me, the shit started to hit a fan on yesterday because we started getting a whole bunch of information dump on a couple new insurances that started opening up around us, which automatically sends me into more having to handle mode on something. So I got the layout through email about a new heavy workload that I got to push through on, and it has a lot to do with less finding stuff up on the website like it's supposed to, and a whole bunch of calling a whole bunch of internet sites and them having to call me back a whole bunch of times. So it's a whole bunch of information dump that I have to go through the next 2 days, and it's been a mess over there. This week's been tried and true on my end.
Why the fuck are you making phone calls in the 21st century?
Trust me, it's getting way. Like I have this insurance that for some reason they have a setup on their website for authorization. I put in the exact thing and the exact information they need for authorization. I put everything through, and then they call me within like an hour, 2 hours later, telling me that what they have up in the system is not what you got to put through for authorization. So individually, I have to call them each time and go through a whole system of questions, going through a whole system of like different websites and different pushing through just to find people's specific authorization. It's getting to a tizzy because it's mad people that need authorization. The fuck are y'all doing with y'all website?
Yo, honestly, I hate the insurance system in this country.
Yeah.
Yo, so I've talked to a couple of doctors, and they like fill me in on what the process is when they have to deal with insurance. Yo, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yo,
a whole slew of bullshit.
It's disgusting.
And then there's another one that we just tied up on, which we have no information on what the fuck's going on with it. So we got to mind that as well. So this last 2 days have been a mess.
How dare you fuck that socialism talk? You're in America.
Mm-hmm.
They need to get it together along with McDonald's and them snack wraps.
Yeah, they're not gonna get it together here at all.
I'm pretty sure the snack wrap will come back before we have socialized single payer Medicare, man.
We'll see. All right, so we'll follow up on how that be. But nonetheless, getting away from Vibe Guys.
One more thing before you go to Vibe Guys. How we in 2023 we still got our flying cars? The Jets just lied to us.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But I don't know. I'm still wondering if do you believe as a society we can handle this shit? Like we having robot moving cars and shit like that.
Man, people can't even drive on roads.
That's what I'm saying. Do you really want to see motherfuckers in the air?
Flying cars.
You want individuals in the air? You can trust them, especially flying over you.
They can't even tell colors on 3 lights. What they mean, and you want them flying around? God damn, you got the bodies flying out of the sky every other day.
Oh my goodness!
I can just imagine a whole bunch of people bombs flying out the air.
Oh man!
Nah, bro, that was a warning. That's a society that's too peak that you think in your head.
Did you know it's illegal to stand in the middle of a parking spot to quote unquote hold it for someone?
Really?
It's illegal?
It's actually illegal. And do you know how many times I have to deal with that a week?
I've done that a couple times. Oh shit!
Same here. Gee,
the more you know.
Yeah. But on that note, all right, let's switch off to Off the Cuff this week. The discussion I have for you guys this week is, do you think anime is becoming too commercialized and lazy on concept? And this comes from an information quote that also adds in, and this is a conversation that I heard also from Keeping It 9000 friendship podcast over there. Do you think Donghua, quote unquote Chinese anime, as they have been saying, can overtake it while it's in its lazy phase, commercialized? So thoughts on that?
Oh, okay.
First of all, what do you mean by commercialized? Do you mean that it's just being churned out and everything's basically the same with a different skin? Or do you mean that all anime is being made to sell some sort of toy or product?
I think, because I say the point attached to it is lazy on concept, I think maybe it's being pushed out more commercialized that cause from your first example.
I think you're just people who grew up with anime, like, you know, our generation, who like, I think we may be one of the first few generations that grew up with anime, and we're just getting to the age where we're noticing the pattern of, we're noticing the patterns of popularity. When one studio that, this genre is doing really well, let's put our own spin on it. You know, things come in waves. You know, in the 90s, monster raising anime were very popular. You got your Digimon, your Monster Hunter, your Pokemon, your fighting Foodons, your, you know, that that type of thing. And then, we go in cycles. You got your isekai, you got your shit ton
the
of
isekai's generation is this.
You got your sports. You had a whole sports season. You had that fucking I blame the fucking Dark Knight for this dark and gritty season where everything had to be dark and gritty and subversive.
I felt like in 06 there was a lot of summer vibes anime because I felt like
So that's what I think that's what people are getting at. It's that not that things are being lazy. People are just seeing the pattern and recognizing the tropes for what they are, and it's nothing new to them. And there's nothing new brought to the table. It's the same pizza with no new topping.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, talking about what Yo said, this happens in all media, and anime is no exception.
Yeah.
It happens in all genres. It's just now anime has gotten to that point where it's right in there with them because it's right in that conversation of
and it's like
popularity.
With the advent of social media, people have the ease of access where every thought they have shot out into the ether.
Yeah,
so
and also what's talked about is like the TikTok generation where you can put the clips of the flashiest parts of the anime and people get the ooh and ah effect as well.
Right.
Yep. So
if you want if people are just seeing a shonen anime clip of just all the fights and all that, you're not getting the full story if you're just watching it off TikTok. So maybe all the fights are repetitive. You can figure out where things are going, and who's to say the stories aren't going in the same way? I'm reading I'm reading a bunch of manga, and maybe it's just I'm getting older. I'm recognizing story beats and patterns better. But I can predict most things that'll happen in most things. But it's like, is it a bad thing?
No, predictability isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're enjoying the journey that you're on.
Right. I mean, it depends on circumstance. Maybe sometimes being able to predict something that happens in a manga that you're enjoying, gives you a bit of comfort. Yeah. Otherwise, sometimes it's just, for the sake of, am I saying all of them are like that? No.
Not everything got to swing out the box.
Yeah. Some of them actually are lazy. Some of them are not. Yeah. And in the second part of your question,
about Dongmo,
I've watched a couple. If anything, I'd say I've only seen maybe one that I can praise highly. And even then, it's got some animation quirks that I'm not too fond of. Gotcha. I would say, it's a growing industry. It's still in its infancy. The animation quality, I think, just across the board, part of the problem is Japanese in anime have overworked animators and overworked and underpaid animators. And in Dongwa, it's just there's something about the animation just makes it very uncanny valley.
What about and also maybe people don't have at least like the freedom of expression as much?
I think it's very I don't want to sound mean, but to me, a lot of Dongwas, their animation just feels generic and almost just it feels like a copy of anime in the animation style. I'm the only one I've seen that I did enjoy, maybe partly because of story.
Yeah, which you'd like to see in that.
Yeah, maybe that influenced it, but there were things I did not like about how at least the first season was animated before they switched studios in between seasons.
Yeah, co-host.
Going on what Peter said, I think for our generation and earlier, it's a case of been there, done that. Yeah. So everything we can really pick out the trends of the current, past, and future anime. Like, okay, we see the trends. We're like, okay, we see what this is because we've been down this road before, so we see where this is going. So everything starts to feel kind of samey.
We're starting to see the flip effect because I mean, look at our animes that we've seen back in the day. Classics getting hit the reboot point.
Yep. And it's like, oh, okay, we're getting to like that kind of movie territory where they're I won't say they're running out of ideas, but I guess it's easier to reboot something than it is to come up with something new, or I guess it may be more cost effective.
It's easier to reboot something and give it a more modern sensibility than it is to take the risk of something new.
Yeah, I mean, especially if animation has changed over the years, you're going to be like, hey, look at this now. You wondered how this would have done in this generation, so you're going to see it here.
I mean, but in defense of reboots, it's so bad that a new generation gets to grow up with something that you grew up with and come to love. I don't think it's wrong necessarily. I'm just it's a debate on. I mean, if you don't want to watch it, if you're not happy,
you always have the
rebooting something. Always go back and watch the original yourself. Yeah, who's forcing you to watch this reboot?
Yeah. My only issue with reboots is when it's done just for the sake of money, which a lot of the reboots are. Some of them are good, some of them are not.
I mean, that's kind of the give and take with the reboot culture.
Yeah, it depends on the reason of why it's being done.
I mean, no one's gonna outright say we're just doing it. No one's gonna be like Mr. Krabs, and they're just gonna be like, "Why did you open a second Krusty Krab?"
No, but you can tell when one's a cash grab and one's not.
Right. But no studio or like corporate, like broadcast, no.
Of course not.
They're gonna be like, "No, we just want money,"
Of course.
No, but that'll come up in another conversation in about a few minutes. So, all right. So closing off on the off the cuff, we can get into some reboot news. Starting off on the nerd and reboot news. Have you guys been seeing on this week? There's been a bit of drama between Kodansha and their app. Like there's been new.
I've been seeing bits and pieces of that. What's going on?
So all right. So there's been a big hype for Kodansha to release their new app that came out yesterday, and they were like hyping it up for weeks about like this new app that was gonna come on to release all their manga publications and have everything in a fix. And like
the K-manga app, right?
Yeah. So like the day before the manga app was releasing, Viz surprised the whole world. Like K-manga's app was gonna drop on the 10th, and like on the 9th, as everybody woke up, Viz decided to drop a whole new app and like took all of like K-manga's whole thunder, and it like surprised everybody in the biggest like petty marketing out of nowhere. And then like a day later, like Kodansha released their manga app to absolute like a shit field, because apparently while Viz is like dropping everything they have on this app that allows like you to read up to so many things that have been hidden in the years of publication and everything that's allowed, K-manga released where a lot of people have been making jokes on it that says that you can read like half a chapter, but they release it in like you have to get tickets to allow yourself to read at least one part of the chapter. You got to go through this app, play some game.
Oh no!
You can, like it's a shit store between the two, and it's like Kodansha has like hyped this up for like weeks, and then Viz just popped up out of nowhere, and it's like they've opened up a gate where they have been doing way better within like the last couple days, except for like even the way how Kodansha has been hyping themselves up. It's been a whole mess. So it's been a drama back and forth that I've been seeing on like the last 2 days.
Microtransactions in manga? Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, at least I'm not paid to advertise them, but like the only manga app I use is Shonen Jump that I pay for is Shonen Jump. Yeah. At least you get to read at least the latest chapters. You pay what, like $3 a month? You get to read all the latest chapters. You can you have 100 free chapters a day.
I mean,
you don't have to pay for part of a chapter.
That's what I'm saying. This K-manga rollout at the very beginning has been really, really bad. I
will say, I am not fond of manga app as a whole. I prefer physical things.
Yeah, I understand.
I miss when I was living in Japan. I do miss waking up every Sunday to going to a convenience store and picking up Shonen Jump.
Yeah, which what we've talked about from before with the whole streaming deal and a lot of things that happen, especially a lot of apps going in and out with how they control stuff. It's an issue when it comes to things shutting down, and then you have
you heard the news today? Speaking of that,
what happened?
With Hulu and Disney Plus.
Yeah, them fusing their libraries and stuff like that, right?
Oh, speaking of streaming,
things might be leaving Disney Plus. They're going back into Disney Vault.
So with that, what we're saying, physical media is never really gonna run out, because at a drop of a hat, streaming sites like we've seen with HBO Max and all the animation.
It will run out. It will run out if they stop making it, and then no more copies are left.
Speaking of HBO Max, in our episode that we were supposed to review today, they took Ben 10 Omniverse over HBO Max.
Oh, they decided to take it off this week. I was curious about that.
They took it off 2 days ago, so I went to go watch it yesterday. I was like, where's that? I was like, oh,
wait,
that's why it was going. I did my notes on Monday, so I did it, I guess, on the last day.
You did.
I definitely sent you the picture.
It was Ben 10 Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, and Omniverse.
Yeah.
So that was all moved to HBO Max.
So I go to pull it up HBO Max yesterday. I was like, searching. I'm like, okay. I was like, look at it. It's on my phone.
What's left? The original series and the reboot?
That's it.
I mean, at least you still have the original.
For now.
Yeah.
Watch it while you can.
I'm like, for real.
I'm not getting HBO Max. And listen to me, viewer. Mark my words. I will not get Max till Conan O'Brien's show gets on that platform. And that the second they take that off, I am canceling my subscription.
messy. I mean, with that going on as well. Well, I mean, okay, so I could dip into the second thing. So this is another week of the writer strike going on, and so I don't know if you guys, I was tagged in this like earlier today, and this has something to do with David Zaslav that was on an interview talking about the writer strike, and he was talking about there's a lot of studios that's obviously waiting this out and seeing how this goes instead of like paying their workers or whatnot and stuff like that. But it's like they're going into this, and David Zaslav had the audacity to go on like
was this the one where he's like he wants free range writing?
Yeah. It was the one where he was talking about it's because of the love of the game and stuff like that, where they were talking, where the people who were like reviewing it was like, oh yeah, it was the love of the game when you got paid all this freaking money and you didn't have to worry about everything.
I'm sorry. Hello, Con Edison. Can I pay my electric bill?
Yeah, with the love of the game.
For real?
Like, motherfucker, can I pay my rent with the love of the game, baby?
This? Do you love being a CEO? Why don't you do it for pennies on the dollar for the love of being a CEO? Let's see how you like it.
Yeah. Right? I mean, if he got a pay cut to zero pretty much right now, he ain't gonna be in the low. He got big money right now. I know he don't want to be out some money, but still, how about you pay your bills on the love of the game? You got a lot of money last year, man.
Yo, love of the game.
But people can't pay their rent. People can't. That's giving you award-winning services and all this other shit. Like, come on, man. Y'all go quit playing with this. Talk about y'all gonna wait it out. Shit heightens up. A lot of actors is out there in the picket line. Nobody want to cross shit. I mean, it's been affecting more and more shows. I mean, Daredevil's at a halt right now, and they looking at 20 something episodes that's trying to go through all that.
The Community movie is put on hold.
Yeah.
You know how long we've been fucking waiting for a Community movie?
Yep. And we're gonna wait some more. Like we talked about it last week, Cobra Kai's final season's on hold. Like it's gonna be a growing level of shows, and then the shows that we have that's gonna continue on. It's gonna be an awkward
last time this happened back in 2000. I think it was.
Yeah, we talked 2007. Yeah, we talked about it.
Do you know what happened when
California lost $2 billion?
Well, not only that, because of the writer's strike, that's how we got all those dumbass pilots that aired that summer, like the Geico cavemen.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
How about season 2 and onwards of Heroes? Do you know why Heroes started sucking? It's because we didn't have writers.
Yeah. The Office suffered. Quantus of Solace, the number one thing that people always talk about with that 007 movie, where they filmed out most of the stuff and had everything written except for an ending. So the ending, if you watch that movie, it just kind of drops. It's that's another reason why.
I'm pretty sure we got a Transformers movie during that time too.
Yeah, which is, we talked about it last week, where it's a funny effect that it's happening, and this is another year where another Transformers movie is coming out. Funny.
Yep, Transformers and did I say it again?
Yeah, blame it on the Transformers. I don't know, man. It's funny, but yeah. Yo, you want the platform to talk more about this writer strike in general?
Fuck the CEOs. Yeah. Support the writers.
That's what we said last week.
If you're driving by, hop to support. If you have time to donate, pick it. If you have money to give, buy some writers some lunch.
If you like good shows, support it. Like, I don't. What are you like? If you watch TV, why are you not supporting it?
Yeah, for real. You'll see what happens when the trash comes out.
Dead ass. Like, we as a black community, we missing Abbott Elementary season 3 because of this, and that's been a complete gem. I'm like, guys, if you like me, if you feel bad about your shows getting pushed back, I mean, this, like, you want people to get paid. Like, what is the thing to be against for this? You wanna support corporations? That's weird.
Right. I'm like, there's gonna be more reality shows, which we don't need anymore of.
But yeah. Anyways, next news on the docket. Prayers and shout outs to Jamie Foxx, because it's going back and forth and it's scaring the hell out of me. Like, last week we heard all that news about Jamie Foxx's, like, it's been a left and right confirmation when it comes to this news, because at 1 minute we're hearing Jamie Foxx is sending news out and Instagram posts thanking his fans and stuff like that, and then this week he's still in like super critical condition, his family saying it's critical and they need all the prayers in the world, and then we hear Kevin Hart talking about might be okay. Like, it's back and forth news. We don't know anything, and we're not privy to like what the family decides on what they want to talk about with the news or something like that, but hearing it's critical and it's a situation that we don't know what's going on. I don't want the next few movies that come out to be like the last time we're seeing Jamie Foxx in a movie, just in general. He's a legend, so we just want to send prayers and all the love and support we can that we see Jamie Foxx out of our hospital, because I don't know what's going on, but we just keep getting back and forth news, and we just want to see Jamie Foxx be okay.
Yep, that's it. Prayers to that man.
Yep. All right, so far, have all three of us seen Guardians? Yo, have you seen Guardians 3?
I have.
Okay.
So
quick reflection, obviously no spoilers and nothing like that, but yeah, quick thoughts on Guardians 3. What y'all think?
I enjoyed it.
It was fun. I think it was a nice send off to this team. I mean, I'm sure that, if asked, some of them will come back, some capacity in some sort of Avengers movie or something. Yeah. But if this is the last time we spoke together, it was a fun. The one thing I will say that really bothered about not the movie itself, but the people going to. Yeah. Now, listeners, listen closely. PG-13 means parent guide. Means parent. Think about if your kid should go.
Bro, I was thinking that the whole movie.
And under.
Dude, I was like, this movie stretched the PG-13 strong as hell.
Oh, it did. It did.
I had people in the theater who were like 7 or 8 with their parents, and then all this stuff is going on, and they left the movie and they're like, how could they do that? Blah, blah, blah. It's unacceptable. And I'm like, lady, it says PG-13. This is not a rated G movie.
I mean, this shit was broadcast over like the Disney Channel, like Cartoon Network, and a whole bunch of shit. Like, it's all over like kid branded shit. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, y'all really stretched this PG-13. There's a lot going on in this movie that's really dark.
This is within the realms of PG-13.
I get it, but
people's expectations of movies. They've seen so many of these superhero movies that are within the lower spectrum of PG-13. That they go in, and they're like, oh, it's gonna be more of the same. And it's like these ratings are put in place.
Yep.
It baffles me when I had the same moment of confusion watching people come into the theater for Guardians as when I went to see Ted. That Seth
bad movie.
But that was rated R.
That was rated R, and parents were bringing children to see this fucking movie.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation. I would say.
No, that's totally different. Yeah. But it's still like it gives me the same vibes as like when you buy your 8-year-old GTA. Yeah. I feel like if you're buying your 8-year-old Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty, or you're taking them to see a PG-13 movie without finding out why it got PG-13 rating to begin with. I mean, that's kind of on you.
I feel
you can't
like
blame the movie. You can't blame the movie maker for making his movie and then warning you, hey, this type of stuff's in it. Yeah, no,
I get where you come from, but I still say one part of it has got to be the marketing. Like, I get the trailers and stuff like that, but Marvel has pulled the hooey on stuff left, right, and center. Like, Ant-Man's trailers going in was way different vibe than actually seeing the movie. And then it's just the marketing that I saw everywhere else.
Sir, I must object to that. When have trailers ever been faithful to the movie?
I mean, this one was good enough.
Never you see a trailer and you're like, oh, that's totally how it's played out in the movie.
But that's my argument to use with it, because if the only part that indicates that this movie was gonna be really dark going in would have been the earlier trailers watching this, and then you see all these commercials that skip out on all that, and all you see is, if you watch Disney Channel or all that other stuff, which I was rolling through, and I saw on Sunday that the only commercials they had planned was having the happy-go-lucky
That's not on the movie. That is not on the movie. That is not on the trailer. That is on the parent for not looking at the rating, looking a movie take their child to.
Yeah, but at the same time, like we're saying, the rating is still PG-13. I get how much you can get away with the P-13 rating, and I'm not putting it on the movie for not having it put out forward that they're gonna have gore or any of this extra stuff. But I'm just saying, they're having these kids come through for these movies and stuff like that, and I'm like, this one's actually showing that it's stretching the boundaries of as far PG-13. You can slap 13, and a lot of things I really like.
I mean, people had, you have all these people complaining about this, same people who are like praising like DC for all the same shit,
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they come out with. We see this Flash.
Look,
I get what both of you are saying. Yeah. So right, the rating is there for a reason.
Yeah,
the parents, they do look it up. Yep. The marketing is there too.
Yep.
So that's an issue. That's another reason why the parents need to look it up.
That's right.
It's like, because going in, it's a PG-13 movie, and I guess that means different things for different people. For me, PG-13 means your child is younger than age 13. Proceed with caution.
Yeah. Just like if you take your child to a rated R movie and get shocked about what you see.
Well, why are you? That's another conversation in itself. Like, why are you taking your child to a rated R movie? But
I mean, also to be fair, back when we were kids,
that's what I was about to say too. I'm like, we were allowed for a lot of shit.
This movie would have been rated R when we were kids.
Like I said,
would it have?
The only
the standards have gotten looser as we've gotten older.
The only thing exactly what was keeping this movie from probably being a rated R is pretty much nudity, because they had a whole bunch of shit going on, from like gore to blood to blood, mutilation. Only thing was missing was probably some titties and ass. Like,
I mean, technically Groot's naked.
That and there's a bathroom scene that's very weird. I get in context, but I'm like,
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
I was sitting here in the theater and I'm like, do we need this part from her?
Yo, I don't know what you mean. Woo.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, Guardians 3 was, it was a step in the right direction in movie when it comes to Marvel, because this year's been weird. So
yeah,
it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good send off for them.
Yeah, I really don't like that.
Which one? The one going into the movie or the one by the
the one in the beginning, the one that was also in the holiday special.
Yeah.
Did not like that one. The one they call what do they call it? Swole.
Gold Groot.
Oh, well, I guess you would call it. I guess.
I think that's what they call it.
How is Groot supposed to be at that time? What is he a teenager?
I say new tree Groot. Yeah.
If he's a teenager, that's far for the course because teenagers are awkward. They're shaped awkward.
He's going out his teen, going into like adult phase.
Yeah, so that it fits.
No, I don't mean by design. I don't mean like how he looks as a design. I mean more like how it's executed. It just looks it looks worse than the original Guardian 1 CGI.
Okay.
I saw a scene. I think I saw a scene where they was going to the car and Groot was just walking around and you could feel that was like a person in a bodysuit. It was like mad funny.
Yeah, it just looks bad when it moves.
I mean, it's par for the course when he like sacrificed himself in like Guardian 1 and then had to change, grow up and stuff like that. I just see him as like
just like the conceptually design is great. No, it's not.
Somebody cut corners somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think cut corners. I think overworked and underpaid, like most things in animation nowadays.
Oh, there you go. Oh, speaking of that goes straight into our my next point, because we have Spider-Verse updates. So did you see any further Spider-Verse updates that's coming out through Twitter? I saw like mini clips of here and there and stuff like that of more Spider-Man, more Spider stuff going on.
I've seen a lot of international posters.
That's probably been.
And I'm noticing a lot of. Well, there was one that was really funny. Jap IMAX poster, and they used the comic book designs for all the characters in the movie instead of the actual Spider-Verse design.
Yep. I see. So from the stuff I'm starting to see, I see the T-Rex Spider-Man. I've seen the commercial with the cat Spider-Man.
Let me
Metro
ask
Boomin's in there as the Spider-Man.
Let me ask your guys' opinion on this one. So the T-Rex Spider-Man, his name is spelled Tertttkr. It's supposed to be like, it looks like a pun on Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Right? But is it supposed to be pronounced Peter, or is it like pterodactyl?
I was just about to say, is it about to go in? It was a T-Rex I saw, so for it to say pterodactyl was funny.
Spider-Rex has stupidest backstory ever.
I saw an image of him in a comic form, so I was like, okay, this is something.
It sounds like a 2-year-old made this up on the spot playing make-believe.
Probably. I mean, we have Spider-Ham.
Do you guys want to know what his backstory is?
Go ahead.
He was a pterodactyl who like looked like, original Peter Parker with the sweater vest and all that. And he was chased by Norman Osborn as a T-Rex. But then as Norman bites into him, they got hit by a radioactive meteorite full of
Nigga!
What? They transformed into Spider-Rex and, a Green Goblin pterodactyl respectively.
Bruh, did you say a radioactive meteorite?
Radioactive, no, not just any radioactive meteorite. A radioactive meteorite filled with spiders.
What?
Wait, what? See now I get the radioactive spider but the meteorite, what? So these are outer space spiders? And how did they get on the meteorite?
Here's the thing.
And how did everything
that was never explained? Never explained.
Okay, so how did the spiders survive the coming into Earth and
the dinosaurs survived the meteorite? Was this not the meteorite that took them out?
I'm all confused. This don't make no sense.
I don't even think we need even more exploring of that. That's just funny.
Right? Try to put logic behind it, and the logic is not logic.
Whatever.
I do see in some of the posters that what I see, I think it's Tokusatsu Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then I definitely saw Spectacular in all his glory.
Spectacular.
And
Insomniac's PS4 Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think did they confirm? I think Andy Samberg is voicing Ben Reilly, the Scarlet.
I thought he was voiced. I did not see that confirmed. I just know the cast. I think it'd be really funny if Andy Samberg was voicing T-Rex Spider-Man, but he doesn't put on like any he doesn't like do any gravelly voice like that. He's just Andy Samberg just like doing his straight up voice.
Yeah, I think that under any Spider-Man would pop.
Listen,
well, it'd be even funnier if he's like, I'm a T-Rex, but it's just like Andy Samberg, just like being Andy Samberg.
I mean, I get Andy Samberg through Hotel Transylvania, so I know that shit.
That thing sounds like it belongs to Ben 10's
Oh, speaking of that. But yeah, one last news before we wrap up nerd news. I just wanted to talk about...
wait, before we move on. Yeah. Have you seen the image of Hobby, Spider-Punk unmasked?
Yeah.
With his giant fro?
Yeah.
How does he fit that in the mask?
I guess
we say the same thing with Tokusatsu.
I guess the same way Doggy Cougar puts on his helmet?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Mask has special properties that close that. I don't, man. Listen, man. But yeah, anyways, the last news I got...
Master did it.
There you go. I mean, it's Spider-Man's along the line of Tokusatsu, so yeah, there you go. So last news on the docket, Gendy's new show, Unicorn Warriors Eternal. I just want to say, so far the drop of those, that's also on the HBO back for the time being, whatever general. But so far that new show is pretty cool. So I definitely recommend everybody to give that support, and hopefully they don't cancel it after one season like they did Symbiotic Titan. So yeah. So other than that closes off Nerd and Reboot news for this week, and let's go into the main stuff. So it's time for the main event. The main event segment of this week, we're going into Comfy Couch with our guest, Mr. Yo here. We doing Ben 10 Omniverse, a special. We're doing, so according to it, I mean, it was on HBO Max, so I could have labeled it that way. But so far, if you look through on the wiki sites and stuff like this, is kind of season 6, kind of arc 6, episode 1 and 2 out of that. It's a special 2-part episode. So let's go into a little bit of the history and fast facts before we get the episode. So on my notes, I have, this is a specific to Omniverse. This is an American animated TV series. I was in my notes. It was now streaming on HBO Max, but that shit gone.
Gone.
Well, yeah. The original, I think if we confirmed earlier, the original Ben 10, created by Man of Action, produced by Cartoon Network. I believe that's still on HBO.
Yeah, but this Omniverse is gone.
Right.
So this is the 4th installment in the Ben 10 franchise, last series, classic content. Science fiction, action, adventure, comedy, drama, superhero genre. Airing on Cartoon Network from September 2012 to November 2014 US. Like you said before, Man of Action comic franchise with 8 seasons / arc, 80 episodes, 10 episodes per arc. Most arc of the whole series so the background of it, most of the arcs of the whole series kept getting renewed. Originally that was going to be 2 seasons, 2 arcs. They said that it took about 6 months to work on an episode because it was also hand-drawn series, digital color, minimal CGI except for like in vehicle form, following the adventures of a young man protecting the galaxy using and understanding his alien watch, more with friends to control all the chaos going around. Basic concept. So we could go into the season 6, arc 6, episode 1, episode 51 special.
Jeez.
Breaking down all this shit. And
before
then there were
shout out and to the art director of Omniverse, Derek J. Wyatt, passed away December 16th, 2021. Big influence in the animation community.
Definitely.
Worked on things like Omniverse. That was part of it. That was his style of animation. I believe he also worked famously on Transformers Animated, also on Cartoon Network. When you see these things, like Transformers Animated style of animation, that's old. Either Derek J. Wyatt or someone inspired.
Big respect to that. We send all that respect and that love over there. So now we get into this episode, and then there were none.
Yeah, so the episode starts, and we see Ben. He's walking, normal old Ben, nothing crazy going on. Yep. And then we see this lady. She's freaking out because her cat is stuck in a tree. Yep. So Ben is like, all right, let me go save the cat. So Ben goes, he goes climb tree and saves the cat. And the lady over here is talking about, oh, don't do that again. If you don't do that no more, you get a whole bunch of treats. And I'm just like,
I believe her words was, you can have cheeseburgers.
It was cheeseburgers. Yes, it was.
It was Mr. Catsby, and my first question was, late cat cheeseburgers.
Yeah, that threw me off too. I'm like, cheeseburgers. I'm like,
I believe that's from it's a reference to the old internet cat.
It's still weird.
Yeah, I don't own a cat, but I'm pretty sure you should eat it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
You should eat cheeseburgers.
I was like, cheeseburgers, big dog. If you was feeding that cat cheeseburger, you shouldn't have.
I'm like, so you're eating good.
Bad Garfield, that lasagna style.
All right, so Ben, it's just average Ben. Ain't nothing special going on.
Yep, regular
Like,
Ben. Yeah, yeah, this is Reg Ben.
Right? So he's like, okay. He's like, yeah, I did my good deed. You know, Ben runs off.
So I have to ask, have you guys ever watched this series?
Yeah, I was following up on as Ben 10 was coming out and stuff like that. I was following it. It was one of those things that I was like, I was pretty much out the footing of Cartoon Network for the most part. So Ben 10 was kind of like the last hook that I had.
So I was aware of Ben 10, but I've never watched it myself. So this is like me going in blind.
Yeah, right. Which I kind of figured.
And so the last thing we see before the intro comes up is Ben looks at his hair and he just has a regular watch, which is currently not working.
Yep.
Well, you know what they say about broken watch?
What do they say? Yo?
It's time for you to get a new watch. You are no use to me.
There you go. He's like, I'm just gonna keep it as a prop, make it look fresh.
Right?
I mean, if you
don't ask me about no time,
a broken watch just for the statement, get yourself a that works.
Right. It's just a fashion accessory at that point.
Yeah.
It's like Johnny Depp putting on 40 bracelets. It's that level of useless.
Pretty.
Hey, so after that, we get the intro.
Speaking of which, of the 4 original series, this is my least favorite.
Yeah, I said it was a fun kind of Scooby-Doo vibe, like Saturday morning cartoonish beat. I didn't like this one.
I'm very fond of the original.
Yeah, me too.
The original.
That shit was a bump.
Yeah,
like
I know. You're gonna get DCMA copyrighted off YouTube, man.
Disney, we don't make no money off this. Don't worry.
Disney, no, we're probably on their radar anyway.
Yeah, they already know from prior.
Oh yeah, like them first couple, like the beginning episodes.
We don't worry about none.
Them things definitely gonna get strike when I put them up. Oh, that's our favorite episode. Definitely getting it.
Oh please, we was shouting out Disney all day with that. Like, nah, bro, it was wild in them earlier days.
Yep, they were like, nah, bro, you doing too much.
Mickey Mouse, I'm gonna take you down.
Jokingly enough, side note on all that, did y'all see that trailer for that video game Mouse where they take the old looking cartoonish look of Mickey Mouse? It's kind of like a video game where it plays off like 50 style mafia. It's in black and white, but it looks like it's like Mickey Mouse animation where they just go through and out through the town and shit like that. It's mad funny.
It took them long enough.
I'm interested now.
It's on Switch and shit like that. I'm like, I'm about to look up.
The Steamboat Willie copyright, I think, ran out.
So that's why they doing that shit.
So I think that version of Mickey Mouse is like in public domain now.
Yeah.
Oh boy, don't let old boy get a hold of it.
Oh yeah, the boy that be making horror movies out of everything. That's how we got Blood and Honey. Terrible.
Yeah, we don't need no more of that.
Oh, we getting tons of that.
That man must be stopped.
Hey, listeners, the second they do a Patreon, get on the highest tier and make these guys review Blood Honey.
Don't do it to us, y'all. Don't do it to us.
Okay, so I quick reviewed that one episode.
You do it.
Or if they paid us, we hop on that shit. But nonetheless, I mean, I quick reviewed it, and boy, that's all I gotta say.
You're doing the Grinch movie first.
Which one?
We can fucking gut online. Bro, I'm trying, but nothing. Every time I look this shit up online, they don't gotta. You gotta watch this shit through a camera lens, and that shit's terrible. Get an HD copy online.
In Chinatown.
Yo. Oh man. Too much.
But yeah, so going away from the intro, getting back in the episode.
Yes, it was mid, so we'll continue on with there.
Yep.
So speaking of mid, we see Ben in his midlife.
Yeah, pretty much playing soccer.
Right?
I feel like the conversation he has after just very. It feels like growing up in New York my whole life, I've never had this conversation at all. But I feel like it's the type of conversation someone in the Midwest would have.
Yes.
It looked like the Burbs, pretty much. Them houses remind me of our time in London when we saw the weird house.
But yeah, so Ben, he's just having an average life, and he's feeling like, everything's all the same. It's just
people grow up here, they marry here, die here, yada yada.
Yeah, basically typical.
The circle of life just ends, with this 50-mile radius.
Yeah, it's just basic suburban life, and Ben is like, what? I want to do something more. I wish there was something more, and I'm just looking at Ben like, bro, be careful what you wish for.
That's what we call the writing foreshadowing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So the whole time he's having this conversation, and I'm just like, bruh, you set yourself up. Don't do it. Mm-hmm. Take it back. Take it back.
We finna find out.
Hey man, I wish more life events would work out when I just vaguely meant something I really want. Like,
do you really want that, yo? Do you really want that?
Financial woes were gone. Shit like that.
And then next thing you know, you have a whole bunch of paparazzi following you every move. Can't even take a pooping piece. That's about like seeing a camera flash.
So look at Ben Affleck right now.
Do you really want that life?
That boy stressed.
Right, so He's in the car, just chilling.
Wait,
He
gets his broken watch stolen.
Yeah, I was like, hold up, I'm missing the part. Yeah,
and the homie that passed them by, for the people who's seen this shit prior, that's old boy Kevin. So already off the bat, if you're watching this going in, you're like, what the fuck going on? Because he never seen that.
So let me fill in the gaps. If you only watch the original 10-year-old Ben, in the sequel series, when 15, they meet up with Kevin 11 again.
Yeah, that's
and he's no longer this mutant alien hybrid.
That's the homie.
And they become friends.
Bro.
Yeah, and it moves on from there.
Yeah, that's the last time we go see. That is so wild. That's just that Kevin just passed by like some kind of thing.
Listen, the way he did it so smooth. Yo, he bumped Ben looked like.
I would say props to the animation because you frame it. I think I could be wrong, but I remember last time I paused it at the right moment. You can see him grab the watch. Right frame.
I mean, the earliest iteration of Kevin, he was the wiper type. He was doing shit on the low, so it's like he wiped shit.
He was still doing that when he was 16.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like this. Like if we get the earliest iterations of Kevin away from all the stuff that we know, yeah, he would have done this with a flash of a hat.
Hey, yo, so hey, we like cherry Ben, and yeah, like you say, here come Kevin, and Ben was like, yo, watch out, and then he's like, yo, and then he looked at his arm, he's like, oh, I lost my arm. He's like, jokes on him because it don't even work.
Aha.
Yeah, man. And then, like I said, his grandpa showed up with his mechanical arm.
Boy, Max.
Dude, this universe. I want to live in this universe. They have better med tech, and he probably didn't have to pay for it. I mean, the man's working as a plumber for all we know, and he can afford robot attendant. Come on.
He must have good insurance.
Either that, or
plumbing pays good. Mm-hmm. And old boy Mac making a joke off of that missing hand.
Oh yeah. And like now we have that conversation where it's like, oh, this city. He's like, everybody stays here. They grow up here. They get old here. I won't be here no more. I need something else.
My son heated in the Bellwood. He said, man, this boring.
Yep. I'm tired of Bellwood. I need something. I need some excitement. Something.
I want to go to the town next 5 miles down.
Right. I want to have an exciting time.
Then Max telling him about Destiny and Destiny finding him.
Right. And his grandpa was trying to tell him, like, listen, you sure, buddy? Like, listen. And the way he said it, he's like, listen, what you looking for may find you. So
he looking at old boy like, all right, monkey's part decision. Remember that.
Like, listen, you keep saying that, bro. You don't want that life.
Yep.
You better enjoy this peace while it's here.
So after that, we pull him back at the house.
Yep.
We got back at the house, and that's where Ben runs into his cousin Gwen.
Yep.
And that's
What's nice about this is that throughout the Omniverse, Kevin, when we saw him, it's the same model throughout the whole season. But Gwen, this was what she looked like in only the first 2 episodes of Omniverse. It's like a design based off her Alien Force. Yeah. Ultimate Alien design. Yeah. And then when we see her next time, which was I think a couple episodes before this, she has a whole new different look and a brand new model. And it's nice that they brought back this old model just so it's like a different universe or timeline or whatever these shenanigans are.
I was wondering about that too.
Yeah, so they had a little slight conversation going back and forth here. You could tell they really weren't close like anyway in this universe anyway.
Yeah, because they talk about that summer when the road trip happened, and they was like, that was the worst summer ever. You like, oh.
Imagine if we were able to see that event. So everything that happened in Ben 10.
That's not TV.
Without the aliens.
That's not TV. Ben 10 normal boy? No.
Well, that's what we getting right now.
Yeah. Boring. That's why that man want to get out of Bellwood.
Yeah, right. This show, listen, if it was like this show would have made it past season 1.
Episode about to be called Get Me Out of Bellwood.
Well, that's the type of show these CEOs want the writers to write.
Bland boy? Yeah. That's what you're going to get without the writers.
Bland boy, yeah, that's me.
Bland boy, that's me. Yo. Coming on Max. Written by David Z.
That's why they got rid of all the Ben 10 shows on.
Oh, no, don't do it. Don't even put that out there.
David rubbing his hands right now. He said, I'm about to show y'all how this writing works.
Oh,
#, support the WGA.
# support the companies, apparently.
Right. So, at this point, Ben gets a call from JT, and he meets up with JT. How it gets food, just hanging out. And then he leaves. He looking around because he feels like someone is watching him. So he's like, nah. He's like, bro, something up.
Shut up. In this dark alley alone. Nah, fuck out of here. Who behind me?
Yeah. Someone's like, listen, I just spent all my money on smoothies. I ain't got nothing.
You ain't robbing me. You ain't getting shit.
Right. And then he turns around.
We run into Bad Ben.
And he looking around.
Yeah, with that, that hair color, with that hair color, yeah, that's Bad Ben, all right.
Yeah,
right.
Not a good design.
Yeah, man. So he throws hands with him.
Hair does not work on as a model, as a design. It just doesn't work on. It just looks so off.
I think maybe that was the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to Yuri Lowenthal, who voices about 99% of the Ben in this series. So him talking to himself.
I mean, plenty of motherfuckers in animation do that shit. So that's big prop. But that's kind of tip of the trade with some of this stuff.
Right, but it's not like Phil Lamar when he's Static and Jon Stewart talking to himself.
Yeah.
But he changes his voice, which is great.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it must have been fun in the booth where Yuri didn't have to change his voice so much and just read off the line.
Oh, definitely. I know I could see him going from side to side to side, be like, yeah, this Bad Ben, this other Ben, this other Ben. Yeah, I can see him having a ton of fun with this shit.
He's like, oh, this is all me. All right.
Yep. So right off the bat, they start throwing hands, and then Bad Ben pull out that Omnitrix and turd right in the Ghost Freak.
Yeah, he was like, and normal Ben is like, oh, shoot.
What the
Ben like, I ain't signed up for all this. He's like, help.
And you got that villain goal.
On aisle 10.
He right up on the rip. He's like, his goal is to get rid of Good Ben.
Yo, dumb people flew out of that supermarket. They was like, oh, nah, what we not gonna do is this.
Yeah, homie said he don't want to explain anything. Just attacks and chases him all over that, sends him into that supermarket.
So then he runs to hop over another car, and then he sees another Ben.
Yeah, we run into Kid Ben, which Albendo.
Yep, and then he runs into another Ben. I'm like, oh boy.
Ben Zorro.
Right?
And Albedo, the negative Ben.
Yep, so they used
actually an alien who made his own Omnitrix, and then got synced with the real one, so his default form became Ben.
Weird.
Yeah, right, so then they use their Omnitrix and they transform, and then now they shooting lasers and people are scattering, and Ben getting shot at. Ben is just like, no, Ben is just like, what the blue?
Like, what the hell?
Right.
Until old boy run into Ben Prime.
Yeah.
AKA the one from the intro.
Yeah, the main guy. Our main guy.
Right, after doing looks like some slack parkour.
Haha, parkour.
He's like, oh man, he's like, this can't be life right there. He's like, Ben, like, I gotta be dreaming. He's like, see the big hand. Oh no, I'm awake. Oh shit.
Yep, Prime changes. Go ahead.
Like I said, then you get yoked up by Ben Prime. Like, hey, listen, and normal Ben ain't feeling. He's like, listen, you got one of them things too. So nah, bro, back up off me.
Mm-hmm. I can't trust you. I don't know what you up to. What you scheming?
Right? He's like, and like Ben Prime, like, I'm here to help you. He's like, I don't know about that, homie.
Yeah, he takes him off.
You sus.
He like, I can't explain it to you, but he takes him off to someone who can explain it to him.
Yep. So he basically, he yokes him up, he transforms, and then gets the heck out of Dodge.
Yep. And they hide out and wait till Professor Paradox shows up.
Right? He's like, who we waiting here for?
Doctor Who.
Pretty fucking much.
Right? Yo, I'm like, yo. And all the time Ben is like, what's going on?
You wish for something exciting, old boy. Here you go.
Right? He probably thinking in his head like, damn, I shouldn't have said nothing.
Monkey's paw ass. All right, sure. Got you.
Uh-huh.
So when Professor Paradox pull up, he out here explaining that we're in a universe without an Omnitrix for Ben to become a hero.
Right? So he starts to give Ben a rundown. He's like, Ben,
basically, there's a website called ben10.fandom.com.
Yes.
You gotta have to click on Ben 10 and read the first paragraph.
Right, that'd been nice. And so he gives him this little planetarium display. Like, yeah, there are lots of multiverses, there's lots of universes with lots of Bens. And then he's like,
he is more confused than ever.
He's like, all right, let's try this. All right, look, you see this tree? This is the Ben 10 timeline. You see all these branches? These are all the Omniverses. So, are you with me, Ben? Are you with me? No. Ben's like, nah, not really.
Whatever you say, sir.
Right? He's like, okay, so basically he's like, someone's taking out all the Ben universes and chopping them off. And that's why we here.
I said on my notes, I would have been tight to be the boring Ben.
Yeah, he probably like, all
y'all niggas is popping out here, and I'm the one without no watch or nothing. Damn.
Right?
Law of averages, someone's got it.
Yeah, I guess. Someone got to be, but it's kind of sad if it's you.
There was an episode of the original series where it was a what if, and Ben didn't get the walk.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Right, and they, spoiler alert for later on in the show.
Yeah.
We find out that one of the that is a canon timeline in this tree, so to speak. So why is it so surprising that there's Bens without watches when that's already a thing?
Yeah.
It's one. I get the concept that there's no Omnitrix timeline, and that's what they're kind of flying. But it's like it's not significant for Ben not to have it because there are Bens out there that don't have it. I think that aspect of the episode could have been better.
I think when you're dealing with multiverses, it's going to have problems.
So for here, I think it kind of makes sense because this Ben knows nothing.
Right. So that's what they're implying, that there's no Omniverse in this universe. Omnitrix in this universe, but it's like they just make so much of a big deal that he's the only Ben that doesn't have an Omnitrix, when like literally he meets one 5 minutes later that doesn't have one. So it's like, you know, the thing that makes you special is, I feel like it's just a little bit poorly explained.
I think this one gives me the everything everywhere all at once kind of vibes, where you're like they pick the like worst Evelyn, worst choice, and worst everything. I think this one's just trying to be like, it's so bland, it's so boring. So this is like, it's on you.
Like average of every. It's like the most normal of.
Yeah, that's kind of the situation that I'm kind of hopping off of that.
Professor Paradox wrote this episode.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, let me. So yeah, this is why you're here. But the other Bens, and you're not the only Ben without one, but you're gonna be the only one within this episode. No other Bens gonna get you because they all got watches, and this is what we gonna do.
Yeah. So anyways, Ben Prime vows to in the middle of all this. Ben Prime just vows to protect her.
Yep. Ben Prime's like, all right, I'm gonna keep an eye on you
because you me, and if anything happens to you, it's gonna fuck me up so badly that I have to start seeing a therapist.
I don't want to see me die. So yeah, sure.
Yeah. Like, yo, Paradox, where you going?
Yeah. But so Ben's out here explaining the watch. Like in the middle of him explaining the watch, a bomb hit.
And so Paradox disappeared. So is Paradox the Watcher?
No,
I would say in this series.
No, because sort of, but not really, because the Watcher tries not to interfere. Whereas this guy, he's literally more like Doctor Who.
Okay.
Well, he'll travel through time and do shit.
Just mucking up the timeline. Okay.
I just think of him as Xenoverse Trunks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Minus the fact that he had the force to do it.
Pretty much.
Like I said, as Ben Prime, and we just call him Average Ben.
I said regular Ben throughout this whole thing.
The Creds call him No Watch Ben.
Really?
Yeah.
Every time he says something in the HBO Max's description of everybody, because everybody comes up with a name. This one was just straight up. It just said Ben. Everybody else is asterisk Ben or something like that. I
like
added to
Ben
him.
Prime, Nega
Ben. This was just Ben, so I just called him regular Ben.
Yeah, I think the Creds call him No Watch Ben.
All right.
So we just call him Ben No 10.
There you go.
So at this point, a grenade gets lobbed at them. Ben Prime grabs Ben No 10, and explosion happens.
Now we got old boy Eon showing up,
which was a character from first live action who was kind of like this time traveling Darth Vader alien, and then they retconned it in Ultimate Alien, that Eon is Ben. Another Ben.
It was a weird workshopping that, because I slightly remembered the Eon story, so I was like, okay, what was the story on Eon again?
Yeah, Eon just looks weird to me. I looked at it
his design kind of, it's supposed to look like the older bad guy version of Eon from the movie, the live action movie, where he's kind of like Darth Vader with all like the old age and all and the makeup and all that. And
he looked like a taller version of the little tiny like alien that fixes everything. He looked like a taller version of that, because he mad lanky and gray face.
So Ben Prime transforms and goes deal with Eon. He tells Ben to get the Ben No 10 to get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know if Vilgax show up.
Right, Ben gets blasted. Like you said, Vilgax shows up.
And he says something. Vilgax says something that I think still confuses me to this day, because he says that, follow me on the logic.
Yeah, you go.
Most of the Ben here are ticking, right?
Yeah.
So he got the watch 10. So he's had the watch for 6 years.
Yeah.
So Vilgax has been hunting him since he's got the watch when he was 10.
Yeah.
But Vilgax says that Ben has been a thorn in his side for a decade.
Oh.
So Ben got the watch when he was 10.
He's had it for 6 years, but he's been a thorn in Vilgax's side 10 years.
I think he's just saying shit.
It could be. I think so.
I think he's just saying it for
I'm just saying the logic doesn't work. I get it. The logic doesn't work.
I get what you're talking about. I feel like he said it as a saying. Like, you've been a thorn in my side to up to a decade. Like, thorn in my side for up to 6 years. I don't know. I guess it don't hit the same.
Yeah, we're not gonna try to argue the logic of the squid.
Yeah.
This is why you need writers. This is why you need writers from #support the WTA.
It could have been ad-lib, but we're not gonna argue the logic of the Squid Man.
Yeah. Listen. If you ad-lib, if you try to rewrite, if you're an actor and you're rewriting, if you're ad-libbing on set right now during this strike, you're a scab.
Bro, they're still filming the big series that is coming out without these writers on set, and it's gonna be a shit show to see that shit later.
It's gonna be interesting to see how that goes.
Yep.
We're back to the Squid Man. So he's like, I'm gonna destroy all the ends. I want the universe. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, Eon and Vilgax teamed up, collect Bens across the multiverse. I said Spider-Verse vibes. He out here molding them.
Right, so he out here molding and talking and recruiting Ben.
Yeah, while we have evil Ben.
And that's when Paradox shows back up.
Yeah, because Ben was about to get get it.
Yeah, they said they don't like this universe because he's a wild card and they don't want to take chances even with no Omnitrix.
Yep.
Oh, and there's a Mad Max Australian Ben.
Yes. That's where we run into. That's where we run into Mad Ben and Nega Ben.
Yeah, how many Bens are there?
I will say two of the best alternate Ben out there. Because one is literally an Australian Mad Max Fury Road Ben. Like the guy driving the truck with the guy with the flamethrower guitar on top.
Yep. What a wonderful day.
Yeah. And Nega Ben is just an emo kid in high school that no one talks to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Spider-Man 3.
He's Spider-Man 3. He's what the producers want people to think Spider-Man 3 Peter is, and that's a whole different character developing that I can go on a tangent about.
Oh, yeah.
That's for another time.
Yeah. So they all kick off that Ben Rumble.
Yeah, for real, right?
By the way, little bit of trivia. Of the good Bens that show up, Ben 10K, Ben 23, and Gwen 10. Those three and Albedo are the only Bens in this. And Eon, technically, I believe, are the only ones not voiced by Yuri.
Okay. Yeah. That ideally makes sense. Which, speaking of Ben 10,000 hops out Paradox in Hero Times, turning into Humongousaur to fight with more.
No, not just Humongousaur. 4 Mungosaur.
Even worse.
So apparently, in this universe, the one they picked up this Ben 10 from, he not only has master control over the Omnitrix, he has 2 Omnitrixi.
Omnitrixes.
He has multiple watches.
Yeah.
And he can cross them together to fuse the DNA.
Ben 10,000 a wild boy, man.
So it's a Humongousaur with 4 arms DNA. So it's a red Humongousaur with a goatee and 4 arms.
Wow.
Ben 10,000 goated, bro. That boy a wild. But yeah, they coming through with more Bens, turning into Build the Guy. And we got Gwen going Wildvine.
Yeah.
Like,
going in. So for people who haven't watched, it's an older version. It's a 40-year-old Ben. Yep. His cousin, if she got to watch at 10, and if Justin Bieber got to watch.
Honestly, yeah, but we'll go more into them. So everyone aliens up and battles.
So we're just having the Ben brawl at this point.
Yep, Ben Rumble.
Right?
Is this technically self-harm?
Yes.
Trigger warning, self-harm. You gotta put that.
Someone cue the Mortal Kombat theme.
Finish me?
Oh God.
So all this is going on, and all the matches is going on. Eventually, one of the Bens carries Ben No 10 over to Paradox.
Ben Prime got. Ben Prime. Yeah, it tells regular Ben to run.
It got confusing. I'm like, okay, you, and then you transform you. Okay, who?
You can tell by the colors. You can tell by the colors of the alien.
Listen, I'm just happy because HBO Max put the names beside who's talking. So I was like, okay, at least I know who the fuck going where.
I didn't get that privilege.
Yeah.
For those who don't watch with the captions
subtitles,
on, provided by HBO Max, you can tell by the color schemes.
Yeah, but somebody right here, this will be long gone.
They were color-coded like Sentai characters.
Yeah. So after all this is going on, then Veggie reveals his real plan.
Yeah.
And what was his real plan?
He has a time bomb that's programmed to destroy every universe that has a Ben with an Omnitrix in it. And the reason they're doing it here is because this one has no Omnitrix in it.
Yeah.
And then Eon was like, I'm a Ben 10 not from this world with no Omnitrix. What the be happened to me?
You know what that scene reminds me of? That scene reminds me of that other scene in Black Dynamite where he says, I'm tired of the drugs in the community. And one of the guys in the circle was like, but Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community. Literally point by point sounded like that.
Yeah, and I was like, OG was like, what? Well, thank you for your service.
Dead ass! And like, oh, word?
I will say, this is one of the things that, one of my gripes with Omniverse, it's that throughout the 4 seasons of Omniverse, the characterization has been somewhat inconsistent, where you'll have character, like Vilgax saying that line was, you're 100% Vilgax. But then you'll have episodes where he's kind of just like the joke of the episode, where he's like really comedic. It's like, it's like the first couple, it's like early season 2 Zed versus Zed later on.
Or
and it's not like it got
argue that,
and it like grew from one to the other. It like flips between the two from episode to episode. And that happens.
We argue the same with Aku from Samurai Jack.
Aku?
No,
because Aku has some jokey ass shit and some times where he buddy with Jack, but at the same time he is like demon.
But with Aku, it's kind of like it makes sense for his character because he's a shapeshifter, so his personality shifting is always like been a thing of the show. But like you've established this character who's like this villain, and like it's always like something bad happening when he shows up, and that's how you established Vilgax in the original series.
Yeah,
and then that's how you established him, and then it's not like he kind of developed into this more jokey character as time went on. He just kind of becomes this joke character out of nowhere for a episode, and then like the next time he'll show up, he'll be more serious, and then like he'll flip flop back, and that happens to Ben's characterization a lot too. Like in this episode, Ben Prime is much more mature, much more of a leader, and he's much more heroic. And other episodes, he's almost acting like he's 10 and he's like doing glory, lazy.
Hey, it's that TikTok video that I sent y'all in that group chat where it's just like he's pure with Riz Up one episode, and then the other episode he can't talk to him.
Yeah, no, it's exactly like that. It's just like hashtag support the that's the title of this. Running trope. That's the title of this episode. Hashtag support the WGA.
Yeah, for real. Cause
so anyway, this bomb goes off.
Yeah. Yes, carry on, gentlemen. Keep going. The bomb goes off,
and all these bands are being, Thanos snapped out of reality.
They really are.
Pretty much.
And Ben 10K tries to punch the explosion.
I mean, the alien that he used. I mean,
it's apparently it's a version of Alien X, which can rewrite reality.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you're gonna use
the other one is Atomics, which apparently might be as strong as physically as strong as Alien.
If you're gonna use somebody to stop a world-bending bomb, goddamn.
I mean, also props to him for thinking he can punch an explosion.
Yeah, it's Alien X. Like if any other motherfucker I was using, I would use Alien X to try and do anything. Right. Even though an argument say, did he? So with Ben 10,000, did he not have Chrono Sapien as well in that?
No. Ben 10K's gimmick, this version of him, is that he uses aliens together.
Yeah.
So the thing with using pure Alien X, he has to make the other two personalities of Alien X agree. Yeah. So to even like move, right?
Yeah.
So by diluting, I think the workaround that Ben 10K used, that it dilutes the DNA by fusing it with another alien, he gets lesser scale reality powers.
Oh, okay.
He can still, but he has total control.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, I guess, in nerfing Alien X as well.
But I also think a reason why I think the great YouTube channel called the Inktan, Ben 10 fan channel that does a lot of drawings and all that. Highly recommend them. Hashtag same plug for other channels that I watch. I believe, if I remember correctly, they did a video about this, and they said, I think one of the reasons they said that reason it didn't work was because it was they were trying to rewrite a reality that one theory was they were trying to rewrite a reality that they were not native to. So it's kind of like it's the Marvel logic of you can't use the Infinity Gauntlet from your universe in another universe.
It snap out, like when Thanos took out the snapped half. It was in this universe. It didn't happen in the other universes.
Right, but like if Thanos used the reality gem to go to another universe, the gauntlet would not work anymore.
Oh yeah. The with the TVA.
Right. It's exactly. Essentially, gotcha. Another theory, if I remember correctly, was that this is basically erasing all Ben's resistance. So if it touches it, it kind of negates his powers, because if it's a negative force erasing him, he would not exist to negate the negation.
Okay, I think I understand that part.
Right, but anyway, wave of reality snapping coming towards the Ben. Ben Prime shields Ben.
Yeah.
No watch Ben.
If he didn't decide to do that, where would we stand in this episode?
I think he would have been safe anyway, because I think the thing was programmed to only affect Bens that have Omnitrixes.
Yeah, but the mere fact that it hit him and it transported the Omnitrix on his hand.
Oh no. So this version of the Omnitrix is not the one we saw in the original series where it got stuck on his arm.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Yeah. So if it took all the other Bens in their Omnitrixes, why didn't take Ben Prime's Omnitrix?
Because I think what happened in that moment. So this version of the Omnitrix is, they explained that the original one in the original series was a prototype, and this is the real one, and Ben can take it off each chip, this version. So I think because it's a combination of that, plus it's key to Ben's DNA, and because it's going to No Watch Ben, who's still the same person in a different timeline.
Kind of like Wes from Time Force.
Right. So he slipped it onto him before he disappeared.
So then why did it suck up Ben?
That's No Watch Ben?
Well, yeah, we put it on.
It's his universe. Not to touch anything from this universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just a little iffy on that. I was like, I was like,
no. He said when they were.
Yeah, he said it was the first usually would have been without an Omnitrix, but I was like, once he put that on, wouldn't it have changed it?
No, he said it wasn't going to touch anything from this universe. It
all right.
Universes that have been with.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do like the thing that before Prime Ben gets Thanos snapped, he says tells No Watch Ben that it's just a gadget, and it's not the watch that makes him a hero. It's like who he is that makes him a hero.
I like that too.
I'm still curious. What would have been overall the situation if Ben Prime decided to like go in front of him before? Because then his Omnitrix would have been taken as well. So it would have just been regular.
You'll never know. That's not how the writers wrote it.
Right, because that became a whole thing in my mind while I watched it. Because
I assume maybe some version of Paradox say No Watch Ben would have happened, and they would have done something.
Yeah. But I guess he figured that was the only thing he could do in that moment.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Ben Prime like thought of that idea just in general. It was like, I'm just gonna give you mine.
Right, like you're still a Ben, so at some point,
even though I called it, it's just a thing and it's just a hero inside. Here's this just in case.
Yeah, I'll give you the tool here.
Yeah, it's like it's just a tool, but you know what? You might need it. Here you go.
Right, and I'm like,
I think here's the tool, but the biggest reminder is that it's a tool. It's not what makes hero.
That's why it makes me interested in just the thought of like it just did not have the tool.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, so he's the only one last, and Vilgax double crossed Theon, so he's gone. Snatched up everybody, and Vilgax is chasing the last Ben.
Right. Mm-hmm. Watched up, no watch Ben.
Which is now confusing.
Well, now I guess we can just call him regular Ben now. Now that he has watch.
Yeah. Substitute Ben.
Yeah, substitute Soul Reaper Ben.
Right. Substitute Ben 10. Okay, we got it.
Ben 210. Ben 10 2.
I don't know.
We can be all day coming up names.
Yeah.
It makes it sound like we can't count.
So Paradox grabs him up, and Vilgax thinks he is totally won.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. And then we're in this Watcher-like space.
Yeah. I said this is definitely Xenoverse vibe / what we doing right now in our D&D campaign. Like, you pulled him into that space and time realm.
So is he the Cam?
He's more of the narrator.
Okay, so he's the Yo. Okay.
Yes. So he talking about the chopped up the trees of time down.
And that they're all going back to the beginning.
Yeah, he said he the last Ben left. We're going back to the beginning, and the funky outro theme plays. That's the end of that.
Right.
We gotta make this a double feature. We gotta talk about the next episode too.
Well, before that, what's your final impressions on this first?
I like to hear from Maurice since he was.
He
doesn't know Ben 10 as much as we do. Yeah, I would love to hear like if this.
What's your introduction? Even though this is like arc 6 into the final season,
right? With all these references and all that, it's like this is kind of like I felt like these 2 episodes were like this is kind of what Ben 10 is about. It's about aliens. It's about this watch that turns you into aliens. There's time travel sometimes. Warlords trying to take the watch. A teenager being a hero. Like if this was your intro to Ben 10, what are your thoughts on it?
All right, so in the beginning, I was kind of I wasn't really sold, but as the episode went on, I liked what I see because I like time travel stuff. I like all that techie science stuff. So by the end of the episode, I was invested. I was like, okay, I can get with this. Would you go
back to like 10 years worth of television, watch the original, and like come back to this point to try to get a bigger appreciation for like the
I would definitely jump around because there are questions I would have.
Right.
Because I'm like, okay, who's the octopus man? I'm like, why are there all these bins? What is the origin of this Omnitrix? Like, it's questions I would go back to look forward to answer.
Right.
Like, why did Kevin steal his watch to begin with?
I feel like things like this, where it's like some sort of special to celebrate the series, where it's an anniversary special or like special just to like this to celebrate the series. I feel like it's a paradoxical gateway where it does like if it's well executed, it gives you enough to let you know what's going on, but keep you intrigued enough for you to go and want to watch what they're referencing.
Hell, in my head, I think about it like this. For the people who watch only like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then you saw like the Forever Red, and you saw these Red Rangers kicking ass and shit like that, you're going to be kind of intrigued to see what the hell's been going on in all these years since you've been watching this show.
Right, but if it's just a show that I don't think I've ever seen it, where I'm just like spitballing off the top of my head. Yeah. If they're trying to do something like this badly and they just self-reference themselves in a way that just seems off-putting, I don't know if you've ever seen anything like that. That's my biggest fear when I want to show someone something, and like the best example, like the thing that just screams like this is the prime example of the show. It's like an anniversary special or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I believe cross promotion and stuff like that works to push other stuff, and hopefully you get a fan of like double stuff. So yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah, for real. Like,
can we also talk about the alien Build-A-Guy?
Yeah, Build-A-Guy, the Lego
used by Ben 23, the Justin Bieber of.
Yeah.
Ben 10. But in the Prime Universe, he's called Blocks. This ape
Lego.
made of Lego. And I find that it makes no sense.
Why?
Because the aliens in Ben 10 have always been like, oh, they could have inspired, like his like Halloween aliens. Oh, they could have inspired mummies and werewolves and all that. Yeah, that makes sense. And then like, oh, one of them looks like a Frankenstein's monster. Sure. But this is kind of like, you're telling me there's a planet of sentient beings that look like a brand name, that look like they're made of brand name product?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it out that the possibility of that shit. When you coming up with like creative things, especially after like 4 seasons and shit like that, running into Legos ain't far off. Like a planet that's just made of a product placement, maybe.
But the thing is, they make it reference Lego. I feel like enough where you're like, you can't mistake it for any other type of building block toy. So it's like specifically a brand name product, and that's what like confuses me a little. It's like, how is there a species made up of a brand name product that's created on Earth?
I mean, depends on what's out there in the universe. Maybe you never know. Maybe a species
random molecules, the essence of life, the Big Bang, created monkeys out of Lego blocks, and then we as humans in the 60s synthetically made the same type of thing out of plastic.
No.
I mean, there's suspension of disbelief, and then there's suspension of disbelief.
I mean, there you go. that's the end of B-Goal right there. Don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, I enjoyed this.
Good.
As a longtime Ben 10 fan,
Yeah.
Really enjoyed this one.
I said multiverse Ben stuff. Cool to see variations and an interesting plan on multiverse stuff. Kind of take from each other now. So I just seen it in just about everything, which they probably did prior, obviously. But good episode. They gave me a whole bunch.
I mean, they've never done anything this grand. Like in past seasons, he's either met up.
I know. I'm just talking about medium in general. To review it now after so much multiverse shit has been occurring, it's just funny because it's like you saw this at a time that it was like multiverse wasn't as crazy, but now
I think this came out around the first Spider-Verse. This was first aired in 14.
Spider-Verse come out.
Spider-Verse came out in 2018, but the comic book, the Spider-Verse event, I believe, was in 2018.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. So I mean, as a TV medium, but it was. I mean, this was a big thing at that time. Now, like reflecting after so much multiverse stuff, I see where things could have probably taken from here and there and go off, because we have so many multiverse problems.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just the media I assume, but like the multiverse shit has been going on for as long as I can remember. You have the Exiles. You have all these events in comic books. You have
I'm talking about TV medium though.
I mean,
I feel like now more than ever they are packed in a whole bunch of multiverse talk when it comes. And I'm not even just talking about. Obviously, we're not even just talking about Marvel because look what won of all those awards with Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I mean, speaking as a longtime Transformers fan, they've been doing these cross types of multiverse shenanigans for a while. So it's like, I mean, hell, I think the Turtles been doing it for long.
Agreed, but I'm talking about like now it feels like more in the forefront now more than ever. Like multiverse stuff was a pocket talk. Now it's
tying it back to one of the first segments of the show. That's another trope.
Yeah, exactly.
Another trope that's another bullet in the don't like it. It's another pen in their. It's another quill in their. It's another arrow in their quiver.
Yeah, but on that point, we can move on to episode 52 special, and then there was Ben,
which both
was there.
Both episodes, and then there were no, and then there were Ben, or the titles are a reference to the very first episode of Ben 10, and then there were 10.
Yeah.
So we get our previously on Ben 10.
Yep.
And so we get the events of what happened in the last episode. And then we're here with Mr. Paradox again.
Yep, we in here with Paradox.
He's a professor, thank you very much. You'll do
PhD, doctor, all that other shit.
Said put some respect on his name. Okay.
PhD Paradox out here. And Ben, and they on the spaceship with classic Vilgax walking around as they hide.
Yeah, with much shorter tentacle.
Yes, classic, man. So yeah, we get the same vibes from the opening, same as we said before. And we go right into the episode.
Yep, it's still mid. Intro's still mid.
Yeah.
So Professor Paradox and regular Ben still hiding.
Yep. So they're at the start.
It's nice to see. Obviously, it's not the same art style as the original classic series, but it's nice to see the old design here and there.
Come back,
especially Vilgax. I was not a fan of the UAF and Omniverse designs for him, but I felt like classic Vilgax has always been the most menacing.
So yeah,
the second they gave him a mouth, he lost a lot of the.
As soon as they gave him a mouth,
Vilgax is going through. Vilgax obviously is synonymous with Ben. he's the core, I guess,
he's like
pretty much.
Lord Zed or Rita Repulsa of
Green Goblin.
Yeah,
Green Goblin to your Spider-Man.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, they're at the start of the Ben Prime timeline where all the branches break off from.
Right.
They need to make sure this Ben Prime finds the Omnitrix.
Yeah. So Ben transforms into
Galvin species.
gray matter, and he does some shenanigans to the ship.
Yeah, mess
which
with that
allows
spaceship.
the events of the opening of classic Ben 10 to happen. The ship firing
shooting out
lasers, firing Omnitrix out.
Yeah, but the shield is down. They get shot. The Omnitrix falls out of the side, but Paradox is explaining that it came out like the trajectory is gonna be wrong, so Ben needs to change up and set the trajectory right.
Which is a retcon from the original, in that they explained in the original the pod was to Grandpa Max's DNA, and it was tracking him.
Yeah,
and the reason why it diverted course in the original series, like that, like sudden 90-degree turn towards Ben, was because his DNA close enough
to Max.
Yeah, so that sudden turn in the original animation was done because they explained it because it was key to Tennyson DNA, whereas this was literally just Cannonball playing pool.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Almost taken out Ben Prime 2.
I mean, to be fair, that almost happened.
Yeah. But yeah, so we at Earth. The shooting star going down. But as you see it going off one way, we see regular Ben now that got a watch turn into Cannonball. He knock it right on course, so it could almost hit Ben, gets out the way, and then the Omnitrix lands. So we going straight back into original.
All the dialogue, I believe, line by line from the original episode.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing what's great is we're seeing the same scene from a different angle.
Yeah, it's like the background of like what's going on around while you see in the original play.
Right.
Because he's too far. Like, get at it, and Professor Paradox is like, well, go ahead and nudge him.
Here's one of those funny things about time. So I was thinking about this. I was like, did the reason that Ben get his powers to begin with is because they came back and did all this?
Yeah.
So did they inadvertently cause Ben to be Ben 10 in the first place?
There was a joke around this.
It's all those things with time travel and paradoxes and
bootstrap paradox.
Yes. Yeah. This is like the chicken and the egg scenario. Like, which one happened first?
Exactly. Yeah. So they nudge him towards the Omnitrix, and it attaches itself to Ben Prime again.
And then we get a nod to the original transformation animation. 10-year-old Ben Prime turns into Heat Blast for the first time.
Why fire first? Why fire first?
I mean,
it used to be a thing in Ben 10 where his first transformation with a new Omnitrix was a fire type alien. So this was his first. When he first got the Omnitrix, he turned into Heat Blast. And Alien Force, he turned into a fire throwing planet called Swamp Fire.
Yeah, Swamp
Fire.
And
then in Ultimate Alien, he evolved Swamp Fire into Ultimate Swamp Fire for the first time. In this one, when he started off with like all his aliens, so he didn't have that trope. And I never watched the reboot, so I don't think his first alien.
I don't know. I couldn't deal with that reboot for like 5. I put that on thinking, I was like, all right, what they got going on? I was like, nope.
I mean, it's not for us. It's
definitely not.
It's for 10-year-olds.
Yeah,
definitely.
But my favorite line is as they're leaving, No Watch Ben goes, forest fire, and Paradox is like, that's actually supposed to happen. Yeah, and they just leave this burning forest.
I'm on fire. Yeah, that callback made me laugh because I definitely remember the first time seeing that.
So much
fun. Yo, that part took me out.
I'm on fire.
I was watching Cracking Out. I was like, oh man, poor
See, stuff like that, you want to go back to go see that shit.
You need to watch the very first episode and see it in the original anime. Because the way they transform in Omniverse, you got this like Animorphs morphing with the green.
Yeah.
In original series, it was a cutaway to the watch and sinking into the skin as
some of them shits was
DNA
grotesque.
alters him, and like you see like the muscle grow or like he inflates. Yeah. The morph scenes were great. They did something similar in UAF where you see like an X-ray of him on a green background, and you see like his skeleton like morph, like when he became the spider monkey. You see like his arm, the X-ray of his arms like split into two sets.
Wow, that's crazy.
That sounds like if they was being realistic with this shit, every transformation should hurt.
You would think so.
I mean, they've done 3 live action Ben 10 movies, and
they have.
I don't think they ever did.
By realistic, I mean like a boy's interpretation, pretty much.
First of all, that's a different color.
All right, another episode for that.
Right, so then Professor Paradise takes Ben himself again, and we're at a campsite.
Yeah, they said they gotta.
It's supposed to be the same campsite.
So they said they gotta collect more Bens and everybody for the big battle.
Right, so they get there, we see the nice little tricked out RV.
Yeah, Ben is back at the worst summer ever, apparently, when an alien attacks him.
So he goes in there and he sees himself and Grandpa. He looks at it, he's like, oh, it's regular Ben again. He ain't got no watch.
And then something comes zooming, flash time.
Yep, hits Ben with the nice.
His cousin Gwen as Accelerate.
Yeah, you got to watch. This is that timeline we talked about from that episode.
Actually, I don't know if they classify. I think if you look it up on the Ben 10 wiki, they classify those two Gwens as two different Gwen because of the design. Because the original series Gwen, her Omnitrix is different, and she's wearing her regular clothes. And this one, her cat, instead of cat eyes on her shirt, it's a 10, and it's a different color Omnitrix. So I think they classify those two as two different versions of the same character.
That's strange. Okay, because I thought we was following up from whatever.
No, I think that one was more of a what if. Ben.
So they didn't want to play with the what if in the universe.
Well, the thing is, I think this one's just straight what if Gwen got the watch, and then that one, if I remember correctly, that was what if Ben went back in time for some reason. If his mind went back in time and knew what he knew, but Gwen got the watch.
Okay, so back into the episode. They basically after a little back and forth and stuff like that,
Gwen's on board.
They tell Gwen what's going on. Gwen is into it, and then they go off to the next Ben 23. And then when they chase off going into Ben 23, Eon is here, and Eon is attacking Ben 23.
Of course he is.
I guess he thinks the celebrity of this Ben will make him easier to recruit.
He thought, hey, this is finna be a breeze.
Yep, and then he started fighting Ben 23, but then they realized they don't want to expose themselves, show something's off in the timeline, and get Eon, off to their scent and stuff like that. So they started like swapping out with Ben 23 and shit like that to put hands on Eon.
Tokusatsu smoke screens.
Yes.
Perfect.
He like, damn, I just folded you. What the hell?
Right.
But first the thing I don't get is like Ben, he was being shot at by laser beam, and he was like, nah, I can take this. I can take Ben on. But the second he turned into Thinkfly, or what he calls Big Bug, Thinkfly, whose power is to be a fly that grew out of his mouth and eyes.
Yep.
The second his clothes got dirty, he's like, I can't handle this Ben.
Eon is both stupid and silly. Eon's a mess.
He ruined my clothes. I have to get to the laundromat.
Yeah, Eon's a mess.
Yeah. Yo.
So yeah.
So we have fun with the little smoke screen there, and then Eon was like, nah, this too much work.
Yeah, Eon is stressing. He dips.
He's like, how is he transforming so fast?
Yeah.
My favorite is like when No Watch Ben is talking to Ben 23. And he's like, I'm not the Ben you know. I'm the one without an Omnitrix. This isn't my Omnitrix.
He's like, okay.
Whatever.
Did you get hit on the head or something?
Apparently. So as they talking to 23, they know 23 out here being a busy superstar. He's checking his schedule, talking about, I don't know if I got time. And they like, well, you better make time or you're not even gonna be around. Like,
he's like, all right, let me hit up my people.
A couple clicks on whatever the hell device he working with, and then he was like, all right, so
you mean
come along.
The bejeweled sidekick?
That's what I got from it.
Yeah. So he like, all right, that cleared my schedule. So he comes along, and so you gonna have to hit me up with the thing where they go next, because I need the context, because I completely forgot the context.
This character is
they walk into a cell full of money.
This guy is named Arjit, and he's from, I think he's a character who was first introduced in Alien Force. Yeah. He was first introduced in UAF. He's one of Kevin's friends.
Yeah.
And if you're a friend of Kevin, you're probably on a certain side of the law.
Yeah.
He's basically a con man.
Yeah. As you said the name, I'm starting to remember the con deal.
Yeah. So basically, they got to a universe where basically Arjit gets Omnitrix.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure. I was like, and that's why they was like, nope.
So people have asked Derek J. Wyatt after series ended and answered. Basically, he was in this universe. He was a bootlegger, but Azimuth sold him a gold Omnitrix, cover some gambling debts, and he renamed. So Arjit, in typical Arjit fashion, renamed it the Arjitrix. and use it to make money. Hence the
Of course he would.
piles.
Yeah, I was like, they went into the Scrooge McDuck type selling shit like that going on, but they was like, yeah, we're not even gonna mess with this.
So they see this, they see Scrooge McDucking in some money, and like, nope.
They go off to Ben 10,000.
Right,
homie already figured everything out the second he saw them.
He's like, oh, well, he's like, y'all, it's a multi-dimensional problem.
That's why homie to go.
He was like, oh, I see what's going on. Yeah, but before they got to Ben 10,000, they went to some other place with another Ben. Some was Scrooge McDuck, and they was like, nah, we about to. He's like, nah.
No, that wasn't a Ben. That was a.
What was it?
That was an Argent.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because that part had confused me, and I was like,
trust me, that shit felt as much an Easter egg as possible.
So like, he had an Omnitrix, and I was like, hold up. I was like, is he a Ben? Is he not a Ben? I'm like,
they didn't explain that at all for anybody that came in here new. So like
me. So I was like, so Ben's a rat. I'm like, I was all confused, and that's cleared up.
So yeah, so back into Ben 10,000 world. He takes regular Ben. They got the Omnitrix now and activates Clockwork.
And then Ben was like, hold up.
Yeah, they was like, yeah, maybe sense this.
Yeah, this might tip them off. So we probably shouldn't do that.
They're trying to keep it low key.
Right.
So then they go back. So then they go find Ben Prime.
Yeah, but right before he do that, Ben tells his son Kenny that he going on.
He's just like, he was just at home chilling, playing video games.
That's Kenny.
Opens, and before anything happens, he's like, don't care, I'm in.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, Ben Prime he was bored. he was like, all right, yeah, let's go.
Easter egg in that scene is behind him on his wall hanging is his Alien Force jacket.
Oh, okay.
So it's the green leather jacket that he wore in those two series.
And as soon as he saw him, he's like, I'm in.
Yep.
Yeah. It would be nice to differentiate, because in this series he's kind of denoted by the white and green hoodie.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see if he's not wearing the white and green hoodie, he's got a black t-shirt, green stripe.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to differentiate them. I thought it would have been nice if they animated him with the jacket.
Yeah.
Ben Prime was wearing the jacket again, just for this.
I couldn't. But yeah, so while they going through dimensions and stuff like that, they in that space and time realm. Ben 10,000 hypes them up. He got a big hype speech. Ben 23 said he's calling for movie rights, and I instantly said that felt like a long form joke by the verse, like down the line, because he's like, he calling for movie rights, and I'm like, are going on there?
And then it cuts to,
they all pretty much dip, and then they leave regular Ben behind.
Yep.
And then Paradox pull up, and he's like, he kept regular Ben away from everyone after proving himself, and they basically return back to the end.
Well, it's not that he kept them away, it's that it's one thing to visit other dimensions, it's another thing to visit yourself in your own timeline. So they had to wait for the time.
They were going back to, okay, that makes sense. They were going back to the original timeline. Got you.
That scene where everybody popped out, and then he wants to go back where like they left off.
I think
they have to wait for No Watch Ben to go with Paradox in the portal in the first place.
Yeah.
No, there's no Ben.
And that part
there.
And
that part, that part I understand, because there's this thing about two exact versions you can't occupy the same space at the same time. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I always call it the funny valley. Haha. But yeah, so they back to the scene that ended off in the last episode. Regular Ben and Vilgax face up, and regular Ben uses Clockwork to pull Tom before the blast.
And put all the Ben's coming back, and then here come Eon. You a traitor!
Yeah, oh yeah, he was on the bumper now.
Right. So was like, nah. So was like, oh, you talking?
But them other evil Bens didn't even give a fuck. They went straight back to Battle Royale.
Well, yeah, right. Cause I guess they heard what Eon heard. He's like, oh, word.
Yeah.
We supposed to be in this together. You did me. Oh, you piece of shit. Son was big bad.
And then they start fighting, but then Ben 10K is for Mungisser backhands Eon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they all start fighting again.
Right.
Yep.
Mortal Kombat.
Yep. So in the midst of everybody giving each other the hands, all self-harm. So Clockwork pulls up, and then he just blasts the other Ben that are evil back to their timeline.
Yeah, for real.
So it's all good Bens versus Vilgax.
Yep. Ben gives back his Omnitrix to Prime, and they all transform to take down Vilgax.
Fight back, Vilgax. Fight back. Yeah, fight back, Vilgax.
Yeah.
Fight back.
Yeah, I mean, we just all gonna go. Yeah.
Right.
They jump his ass, and then regular Ben gives the final blow.
Yeah. He's like, go ahead, Ben. Like, yeah.
It's interesting. It was interesting, like the interactions between all the different versions of Ben. and like Gwen just like being like, you name your heroes, and Ben 23 is just like, oh yeah, focus groups love them.
Yeah.
So Vilgax got Mojo Jojo. I was like,
Yep. So Paradox. So after all of them jumping, whipping Vilgax's ass, right after that, Paradox is like, all right, I'm gonna take him back to their own timeline.
Like, bye, Benz.
Yep. Then after that gets cleared up. Who pulls up? Grandpa Mac.
Yep. It's like, oh yeah, I got him. He's like, what?
He like, you was keeping this a secret all this time?
He was like, yeah, listen, I was trying to tell you in the car, you don't want this life.
Yeah, man. Destiny will find you, and it looked like it found you, brother.
Yeah. He's like, enjoy the peace while you can, because it wasn't going to last long.
Yep.
We're waiting for you to be 18 so you can make your own choices legally.
Right?
Oh, Lord.
Hell, man. You have to be 18 to join the army anyway.
It's like, you don't find the Omnitrix, the Omnitrix find you.
Yep. All you got the Alien Force Police and the Plumber Organization, everybody pull up on Vilgax, tie him up, and Ben Prime and Paradox leaves with all back intact.
Yep, they're like, okay, you got it from here.
Yep. So that's
Ben Prime says, oh, maybe this Ben is going to be a hero after all.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And that closes off the episode. The ending theme vibes is the same, and that closes that off. So what is your final impression on this episode and the whole special as a whole?
I mean, I think it's nice to sum up Ben's character in the sense that he never needed to watch to be the person that's meant to be, which is
it's not the power, it's the person.
Right. So even though he has to watch in most versions, even without it, going to be
still a hero
in some way.
I think that's what they tried to say at the very beginning of the episode, where he like took the cat out tree and stuff like that. Like you can be a hero regardless of what it is.
Yeah, but saving a cat doesn't make you a hero.
I know that, but that's what it felt like.
In the traditional sense, like you're that person's hero for saving the cat. Yeah. You're just being a good Samaritan.
I think that's I feel like that's how they was trying to sum it up in the very beginning. You know how they try and elevator pitch that, like, because he even said, that's like a superhero act.
True.
Moral good person. But co-host, since like we said before in the episode prior, since this is you coming into this and this is the first time with Ben 10, how do you feel about this episode and the whole two-parters as a whole?
So
the franchise of Ben 10.
Yeah. So for this episode, I really liked it. So I was really invested at this point about what was going on. I liked all the different bins. I liked the little bits of backstory that we got. Eon getting his clap back was something else.
Yeah, before he got smacked.
Before he got smacked. Yeah.
Eon is bitched out, baby.
Overall, I enjoyed the special. As this being an intro,
does that make you want to watch more Ben 10?
I would go back and definitely look at some episodes just to fill in what happened. And then I would likely keep going.
I mean, with the great thing about Classic is that you kind of, unless it's like a two-parter, you can kind of start anywhere because the premise of the show is said in the song. So you really don't need to like start beginning per se, unless you really want to know like how he got certain aliens or met certain
how he met these people.
But like you can kind of jump in almost anywhere in the original series, and just watch it from there. It starts getting more serialized when you get to Alien Force and Ultimate Alien. You kind of do need to watch those from start to finish in that order, just because of the nature of their storytelling. But like the original is pretty much like, unless you get to like it's more like big picture stuff. But like, you can watch almost any episode and know what's going on.
So does Professor Paradox stay in his bubble?
Paradox isn't introduced until the second series. Oh, and the place where all this is happening, this abandoned army base, that is where they first meet Professor Paradox.
Okay.
So guess what's your final impressions on the two-part episode?
I really liked it. I feel like it honors the spirit of Ben 10 and what it stands for and what came before it really well. I've seen the other Ben 10 special that tried to do the same thing from the reboot, and I don't think it did it as well.
They did this in the reboot?
It's the very last thing they did in the reboot, where an evil Ben turns into Alien X and is copying reality, killing Bens and taking their Omnitrixes. And the last Bens are versions of each different type of Ben plus a Gwen, and it's very much in the style of the reboot in tone and design. So it didn't work as well.
Okay. All right. So my final opinion in this is definitely I mean, as we see with co-hosts, I would recommend this episode and this special for kind of just getting people into the thing just in general, and I guess you could start from there like you were saying before. So it's good for even an introduction into the series as well, to get the overall gist to see who the character we kind of flowing on, and then work back from there.
So did Ben Bieber make any songs?
No, I think his thing was being a hero for the sake of, if I remember correctly, he was being a hero for more of the media type of stuff, the promotions, the brand deals, making the money and that.
Mr. Krabs' voice, money.
Yeah, because I think in this universe, Grandpa Max died before he got the Omnitrix, so he was more morally ambiguous.
Yikes.
So he was like just doing things for fame and fortune until Prime Ben shows up, teach him.
Oh, okay. I'm like, so he sent him a bill every time you defeat some aliens.
He was more kind of like willing to like in the episode when you first meet Ben 23, he beats up Azimuth in a robot suit because they were trying to teach him to be better, but they don't tell him that that's what they're doing, and he just thinks they're alien invaders. And then when he pulls Azimuth out of the suit, he was about to rip him in half or something. Yeah. But the kid's like 11, so he kind of doesn't know any better.
True, okay.
And he didn't have like his grandpa to like teach him to be, how to act. So like kind of understandable.
No, I get where the morality and stuff goes into it, because I mean Max is kind of like Uncle Ben without the that stuff, but he definitely teaches the hero and stuff like that. He's that kind of. But yeah, so I'm gonna close the book on that Ben 10 Omniverse stuff. Great choice by our guest. Closing that special off. And for our next review episode, next time we come up, we'll be going back down with BMP, Black More for Power, and we're getting back on the Power Ranger trend, and we will be doing Dino Charge episode 1 and 2.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Yep. So before we plug our socials away and our stuff, guest, do you have anything you want to plug here?
Nope. I am a riddle wrapped in an enigma shoved into a puzzle.
You don't want to plug the power of magic?
If you give me a bottle of scotch, I'll plug the power of magic. I will.
Coming out soon.
This is what I'll say. Watch Maji Ranger. Watch Maji Ranger.
That's his power of magic. But yeah, on that note, we got an email set up at blerdbynature@gmail.com, Facebook and Instagram at Blerd By Nature, Twitter at Blerd By Nature, nature spelled Naure. Co-host, hit us YouTube.
You can find us on YouTube by searching for Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Yes. Find us on everywhere podcasts are out. Amazon Music out indefinitely, and we will have more episodes posting pretty soon. Everything is in workshop and whatnot. Do we have any final notes before I hit the outro, guys?
Time travel's confusing.
Yes, so is multi.
Yes. And it's just even more confusing when we put the two together.
Yeah, very much so.
Right. So in some alternate
also support the writers' strike.
Yep,
that too.
Yep. Think about some alternate timeline. We're recording this on Tuesday.
Yes, and Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday. All that stuff.
And the 53rd dimension.
Yeah.
I'm still on my trip. When we came back from that trip from Amsterdam, we ain't come back to the same Earth we left.
Oh yeah,
that's
a whole other timeline where we just stayed there eating cookies. Yeah. Oh my God! Imagine that timeline if like the pandemic was like early and we was just stuck in Amsterdam.
Right? Maybe we're still there.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm just gonna hit the outro, y'all.
Go ahead.
All right. Thanks for joining us today from Black Dot to Nerd Power. This is Nicholas Go with the Flow,
and this is the man with the plan, Maurice.
Yes.
And I've been Yo. Thanks for listening. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, and this was another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast.
As Yo said, thank you for listening, everyone. And until next time, peace.
Peace.
Have a great day.